What if I told you there was an RPG where you can interact with everything in the world? What if I told you that every action that you do in this RPG will have literal consequence? What if I told you that in this game every single actions have different outcomes in every single walkthrough? What if I told you that you can play this game with your friend on the same screen? What if I told you that in this RPG you can spend hours and hours and hours of time without even realizing how it went and going deeper and deeper into this vast world? But what if I told you despite all of this you might still not want to play such a game? Well, this game is Divinity Original Sin, and as you understood, we are going to be talking about that game. In this video, Divinity Original Sin is actually a Kickstarter game that came out in 2014 and got its enhanced edition in 2016, and we are going to be talking about these enhanced editions. It is an isometric RPG which is happening in Divinity universe. You have played any of the other Divinity games like Divine Divinity. It's basically the same universe, and in this game you play as a pair of source hunters, basically members of Order 2 who are hunting sources, well, not just sources, but sources. There are two different things, and two sources as individuals who are controlling the source, the huge and very powerful magical energies capable of destroying the entire universe. And well, your Order's goals is basically to hunt these guys. You start this game by having missions to investigate the mysterious murder in one of the towns and quickly the story transforms into something larger, which of course in a fantasy universe involves some kind of world destruction and the universe destructions, and you being a chosen one. To be fair, the story is pretty good, but it's pretty generic and pretty cliche, but you are gonna enjoy in it, not tell us, but what you can expect from this game. Let's say you got this game, you turn it on, what is it actually? Well, first you start the game with the creations of the characters. Yes, you are creating two characters, and this is in the first time. Well, you will be hit with the barrage of choice. You see that is actually a D&D type of game, meaning that every single thing about your character is actually customizable, and I'm not talking about just looks. I'm talking about every single thing that the character can do is capable to do is customizable from all the stats. All the attributes, all the skills, every single thing can be customizable. And to be fair, at first it might be a bit overwhelming. However, you can actually choose some of the pre-made classes as well, which makes it a bit easier to choose. So after you do this, you are playing in the game and you are controlling this player, of course, hunters, and immediately when you start the game, you immediately understand how interactive this entire world is. Trust me, if you did not grow on the Order games, you have not seen the interactivity like this one every single item. In this game, every single thing that you will see around this game is actually interactive. Every single thing can be picked up and moved and interacted with, and every single thing is actually usable. Even during a combat you see the bottle of water. Well, you can actually use a bottle of water in a combat you see on an oil barrel. You can use that, you see a crate, you can use that, you see boulder, you can use that, you can actually interact with every single thing in the world, which is amazing and a bit overwhelming at first. The world is incredibly large and incredibly live. Every single chapter is actually voice acted, which is one of the biggest differences between the classic edition and enhanced editions. Well, not every single character was actually voice acted, and majority of the story was delivered through text, and now you can actually listen almost every single character that you will encounter, have some type of story, have some kind of job, have some type of quest or things like that. Especially when you go to the first city, you will realize how rich and vast that world in the city is alive. You can understand this by listening how merchants are selling different stuff. You can understand how soldiers are training every single thing. It's alive and you are encountering different encounters.